Beautiful family, but Jemma Kidd has suffered in secret with debilitating panic attacks for years. She joins me now, and you know what? It's lovely to see you. Always great to see you. I had absolutely no idea that you suffered from this. Nobody did they?
Well, I was very, very good at hiding it because I was so mortified. I was so embarrassed by having them that I just never told anyone, and I just sort of suffered in silence. But I've had them for like 15 years.
So when did it start? When did you start?
It started in my late teens, early 20s. And I don't know if it was sort of the transition of sort of going through that, leaving school and then not quite knowing what to do. Sure. Then when I became a makeup artist, they subsided a little bit. But they were just so horrific. I was just so scared. Every single day, scared of having a panic or having anxiety or just... And you just feel so alone because you think you're the only person going through it.
But what's it like to actually have an attack? What happens to you?
It's the most horrific experience in the world. It's literally... You have this... adrenaline rush, something that you would have if you were jumping out of a plane or about to have a car crash. You know, that sort of rush of adrenaline. And I would have it just sitting on the sofa, driving my car, going to the supermarket, and your heart's racing, you get confused, your hands tingle, you think you're about to die, you think you're about to faint, It's just the most horrific experience. I can't tell you.
Absolutely awful. And it happened even at work. You know, when you were working, it happened
all the time.
As well.
You know, doing makeup. I'd be backstage at a fashion show and I'd be doing makeup and I would just literally, I could feel my heart going and my hands sweating and I'd have to sort of try and calm down with the breathing or just go and walk off and come back again. But after a while, I got used to them. I thought it was just part of my life.
Right.
And I didn't ever think that I could be sort of panic-free, which I am now. It's just like a whole new way of living,
Which is fantastic.
I'm not frightened anymore.
Yeah, because it is living with that fear. Because I know you were at a dinner with the Queen was present, and you're sitting there on the chair thinking,
holding on.
What can I do? Because you can't leave.
It was such a privilege and honour to have supper with her, and it was at a gala dinner. But I literally, instead of enjoying it, I was just sitting there, my sort of white knuckles, sitting. I've got what happens? How can I get out of here? What happens if I have a heart attack? What happens if I pass out on the floor? And that I couldn't hear any conversation. I couldn't enjoy the evening
because you're so concentrating on trying to keep things under control. So how did you manage to sort it? What happened?
Well, it was. I had an amazing mentor in my life who was she's called Cotty, and she really helped me through it. But it wasn't until I met Charles Linden, who has the Linden method.
Right.
And I went on a retreat for 3 days, and I did the method, and it really just brought me out and made me understand what anxiety and panic attacks are. And not be frightened of them. And I had to retrain my brain because they're actually habit forming. Because I thought it was a mental illness. I thought I was sort of mentally ill. I thought I was going mad. But it's not that at all. It's a habit. And you sort of, you know, like I drive down the motorway all the time, and I stopped doing that when I had panic attacks because I was so scared that I was going to have one on the middle of the motorway.
Exactly. You might have an accident.
I knew every single exit on the M4 of how to get off. And he just was like, no, you can do it, and, you know, listen to music, or, you know, have someone with you and chat, or just what you have to do is you have to divert your mind. So instead of thinking panicky thoughts, you basically just think of something else. You know, as soon as I had a panicky thought, I'd go, right, I've got to do something. Let's sing really loud to this music. I'd turn the music up really, really loud and sing. And that really helped.
Well, that makes sense. I mean, that makes perfect sense. That's just common sense in a way, isn't it?
Absolutely.
And, of course, now you're very, very happy. I know you've got a beautiful man and two gorgeous, gorgeous kids, little twins that you've got, which are absolutely fantastic. May and Arthur, isn't it?
Yes.
And what age are they now?
They're 14 months.
Oh, they're absolutely gorgeous. And are you, I mean, now, because you've got such a settled life, you're very, very happy, is that, as well as the technique that you've used, is that all together
I think
helped?
Absolutely. And just keeping busy. Because when you have panic and anxiety, you stop doing things because you're too frightened to do them. But see, in that, you've got to do the opposite. You've got to keep busy, keep doing things. Don't let it control you. you know, you control it, you know, and after a while it just subsides, you know, when you sort of ignore it, because it can completely take control of you. And if you just go, no, I'm in control.
That's good. Because I mean, can do this. It's so common, though, Gemma. It's so common. It's 1 in 10 they think, but actually it's probably more than that.
I would think more than that, to be honest.
It probably is a lot more than that. And there is help. I mean, you're living proof of that. You can actually do it, and you don't have to suffer in silence. Because we've had a huge response from people saying, I thought I was the only one, and people look at you and think you're this golden girl, that it's all fine.
Everyone thought my life was perfect,
yes.
And I said, you just have no idea. You don't know what's going on inside. This absolute fear, this sort of fear every morning, you know, I'd be just frightened of everything, you know. And but now it's gone, and
I know, it must be
amazing.
Just like this weight has lifted off your head.
It's incredible.
And it shows that you can actually beat it.
You can do it. You absolutely can do it. And I'm living proof of that. And there's thousands of people out there that get rid of them, and just make sure that you know do the method and learn about them, and don't be frightened of them, and you can do it. Can get over
Thank
them.
you so much for coming in.
Pleasure.
It's great to see you. Always really good to see you. Thank you.
Lovely to see you too.
And I'll tell you what, if you want more details on panic attacks and what we've been talking about and how to cope, do log on to the website itv.com/Lorraine. Loads and loads of information in there about what Gemma was talking about. Now then, if you think your mum is the best in the world, now's your chance to give her a Mother's Day gift that she'll never forget. Craig Doyle has all the details.